There's a maintenance mode inside your body that almost never runs. While food keeps coming in, your cells stay busy processing it. But stop eating for long enough, and something quietly switches. Your cells start breaking down and recycling their own damaged parts. Cleaning house from the inside out. This is day 7. The most misunderstood day of the entire reset. The internet made fasting a miracle cure or a crash diet. It's neither. Today we walk through a real 24 hours, hour by hour, and one specific hour where it gets interesting most never reach. But first, I have to be honest about who should not do this. I'm putting this at the start because it matters most. Skip a 24-hour fast if you have any history of an eating disorder. If restricting food is a psychological risk, this isn't for you. The strong, honest choice is to just eat normally today. Skip it if you're pregnant, underweight, a teen, or type 1 diabetic. With medication or any condition, talk to your doctor first. Fasting can interact seriously with certain medications. For a healthy adult, a single 24-hour fast is generally safe, but this is genuinely optional. There's no pressure at all. If today isn't your day, drink water and eat balanced meals. Nothing about this reset breaks if you skip the fast entirely. Say your last meal was dinner, and the next is dinner tomorrow. For the first few hours, nothing dramatic happens at all. Glucose enters your blood, and insulin does its usual job, moving glucose into your cells and storing the surplus. This is the fed state, where most people live almost permanently. Many people eat from morning until late at night, so their body handles food for 16+ hours a day, for years. Extra energy gets stored as glycogen, a quick access reserve. Think of glycogen as the easy cash in your wallet. For now, you feel completely normal. The switch hasn't flipped, but your wallet is already quietly starting to empty. As hours pass, your blood sugar drops, and insulin falls with it. Remember day 3. Low insulin lets you access your stored fuel. Fasting is simply that, taken a step further. Your body spends the glycogen cache to keep blood sugar stable. This works well, but the reserve is genuinely limited. Liver glycogen runs low somewhere around 12 to 24 hours. Somewhere here, many people feel the first real signs. Hunger, but in waves, not a straight climb, like the day 3 cravings. A wave rises, peaks, and if you don't feed it, it passes. Hangry is real, your brain reacting to shifting fuel. You might feel a dip in energy as fuel sources change. This is the uncomfortable stretch where most people quit, which is a shame because the wallet is nearly empty. Here's the hour I promised you. Now it gets interesting. As the easy cash runs low, your body opens a different account. It ramps up burning fat for fuel instead. Your fat stores go to the liver, which makes ketones. Ketones are the key to this entire story. They're an alternative fuel for when glucose is scarce. Your brain can run a large portion of itself on them. This is the metabolic switch, from sugar burning to fat burning. It typically begins around 12 hours and deepens from there. And here's what surprises people. Many feel better once it happens. The hunger settles, and a calm, clear focus often shows up. Ketones are steady fuel, without the day 3 spikes and crashes. Now, a crucial honesty point, because the internet lies here. This is not deep ketosis from days of a strict keto diet. You're making modest ketones and shifting your fuel mix. Anyone promising an overnight transformation is selling something. Now, the famous, most exaggerated part, autophagy. The word literally means self-eating. Your cells identify their own worn-out and damaged parts. They break them down and recycle the components. It's cellular quality control, running at a low level always. Fasting appears to ramp that process up. Clearing damaged material is part of how cells stay healthy. Impaired autophagy is linked to aging and several diseases. A scientist won a Nobel Prize for mapping it in 2016. But this is the single most overhyped claim in wellness. Almost all the precise evidence comes from animal studies. Measuring it accurately in living humans is genuinely hard, so that exact hour 16 claim isn't actually nailed down. The process is real. The precise human timeline is uncertain. So honestly, a fast lowers insulin and shifts you toward fat. It produces ketones and likely nudges up cellular cleanup. Real shifts, but not a magic reset button. And one fast won't undo years of anything. You deserve accuracy. What a fast realistically does: a digestive break, lower insulin. It gives your digestive system a genuine rest, and it proves hunger is survivable and completely temporary. You are not as fragile as your cravings make you feel. The panic around a missed meal is mostly learned, not real. What it doesn't do, it does not detox you. Your organs handle that. It doesn't melt fat. Any scale change is water, and it returns. You don't have to fast to be healthy. Many never do. And longer isn't automatically better. Longer fasts carry real risks. The strongest research is on consistent intermittent patterns. The repeated small pattern beats the dramatic one-off. If you're a healthy adult and you're in, here's how to do it well. Water is essential, and this is where day 2 pays off. Black coffee or plain tea are fine and blunt hunger. A pinch of salt in water helps if you feel lightheaded. When hunger hits, remember day 3. It comes in waves. Drink water, get busy, and take a gentle walk from day 6. Don't do intense exercise on an empty tank your first time. If you feel truly unwell, dizzy, or faint, stop and eat. That's not failure. That's your body giving real information. And break the fast gently, not with a giant sugary meal. Start moderate. Protein, vegetables, and some fat. Today's mission has 2 honest versions, both completely valid. Version 1. A healthy adult can try a 24-hour fast. Dinner to dinner is easiest. You sleep through a third of it. Version 2. And it's not lesser. Extend your overnight fast. Finish dinner, then eat a slightly later breakfast. Even a 12 to 14-hour window gives real fasted time. Pick the version that genuinely fits your body and your life. The point was never the suffering. It was understanding the switch. 7 days in, sleep, water, sugar, gut, breath, movement. But there's a thread through this whole week we haven't named. Your muscle, the quiet hero of this entire reset. It stored the sugar, and it pumped blood without insulin. Today, it held your blood sugar steady while you fasted. Muscle is tied to how well you age and how capable you stay. And after your mid-30s, you lose it by default. Every year, silently, unless you do one specific thing. Tomorrow, day 8. What happens when you start lifting? So today, choose your version. Either one counts. If this cut through the hype, subscribe and hit the bell.